Do you need some cards from today's episode? Well, you can pick them up and support the show from our sponsor, Card Kingdom. Just follow the link in the description box down below. Hello, everyone. It's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Against the Odds. So last week, we had our first All Modern Horizons Against Odds poll, and in the end, it was a close poll, but Marit Lage's Slumber came out on top, and I saw some comments about Marit Lage's Slumber where people are like, okay, I don't know, it's just gonna be like a boring control deck, and you play Snowlands, and eventually you counter everything and make it 20-20, but that's not what we're doing today. We're going the other direction. This is Marit Lage's 4-color Simic Snow Stompy, basically an aggro version of Marit Lage's Slumber, where we are beating down with almost exclusively snow stuff. I think our deck, the main deck, is like 43 snow permanents, which is absolutely absurd. Like, even most of our lands, all of our creatures, a lot of our non-creature permanents, they are all snow permanents, so we can hopefully get Marit Lage out as a 20-20 really fast. Plus, we have some backup snow stuff, which is really, really popular, so kind of Simic base, but technically 4-color, because we're splashing a little bit for a black card and a white card, and trying to make Marit Lages and kill people with it. So a quick reminder before we break down Marit Lage's 4-color Simic Snow Stompy, which I just love saying. If you enjoy this video and you enjoy Against Odds in general, it would be so cool of you if you could take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk Marit Lage's 4-color Simic Snow Stompy, starting with Marit Lage's Slumber. This is a card that our deck is built around full 4 copies of the 2-mana legendary snow enchantment, and this card is actually very powerful. So whenever a snow permanent enters the battlefield under our control, we get to scry 1, and like I said, there are, I believe, 43 snow permanents in our main deck, which means we're basically scrying every turn, sometimes multiple times a turn, and over the course of a long game, that adds up to a lot of value. It's almost like drawing cards eventually, because we're putting extra lands we don't need to the bottom, or maybe we need lands, we're able to find them, and then at the beginning of our upkeep, if we have 10 or more snow permanents, we are able to sacrifice Marit Lage's Slumber, and we get a Marit Lage, a legendary 20-20 avatar that is flying and indestructible, basically a one-shot kills in the air that dodges almost all the removal in the format. It can get bounced and it can get path, but for the most part, it is going to get the job done. So the plan of this deck is not only to use Marit Lage's Slumber to scry for value, but to hopefully pretty quickly, maybe like turn 5, turn 6, be able to have a 20-20 Marit Lage to kill our opponent. So first, how do we go about doing this? We have another backup creature, which is actually insanely powerful, and I think I kind of slept on Abominable Tree Folk, but this card is actually bonkers in a deck with 40-something snow permanents. So a 4-mana Star with Trample, when it comes into play, you get to tap a creature, doesn't untap till the next untap step, whatever, but the big deal is its power and toughness is equal to the number of snow permanents we control, which means this is very frequently something like a 4-mana 7/7 when it first comes into play, and as the game goes along, pretty easy for this to be a 4-mana 10/10 trample, 11/11 trample, which is actually a really big threat that kills people really quickly. So if we're waiting for a Marit Lage or need a backup Marit Lage, or Marit Lage is dealt with or we don't draw it, Abominable Tree Folk, our best way to close out the game in just a couple of attacks. We also have some card draw snow creatures. Ice-fang Total, new edition, basically our snow Baleful Strix with flash comes into play, we draw a card, Death Touch, because we're always going to have 3 or more snow permanents. Even like by turn 3, we should almost always have it, sometimes even by turn 2. And then Orin Viper, kind of a sweet old one, basically has like weird Death Touch, and when it deals combat damage to a player, we get to draw a card. So comes down maybe on turn 2, starts attacking, drawing us extra cards, adding to the number of snow permanents on the battlefield. Then we have Boreal Druid. It's just our snow version of like Llanowar Elves. Little annoying that it makes colorless mana instead of colored mana, but still, it's a snow permanent. It ramps us, gets us into our Abominable Tree Folk, adds a snow permanent for our Marit Lage's Slumber. So that's the creature base. Then we have Arkham's Astrolabe, which is basically just free in the sense that it draws us a card then when it comes into play, and it also fixes our mana, and it adds a snow permanent to the battlefield. So a really nice addition, since remember, while we are mostly Simic, Simic, we're technically 4-color splashing for like 1 white card, 1 black card, not counting the sideboard. So Astrolabe helps make sure we can cast all the cards in our deck. As far as removal, this is where we have our black and white cards. Simic doesn't really have good snow removal, but if we go into white and black, we get On Thin Ice, which is like our risky snow path to exile. We have to enchant a snow land we play, which isn't a problem. We got a ton of snow lands, but if that land gets blown up, the creature comes back, so it is a bit risky. However, in this deck, there's upside because it is a snow permanent, so we're scrying with Marit Lage. It's counting towards our Marit Lage, and then Dead of Winter is absurd. In this deck, with so many snow permanents, it's essentially a one-sided 3-mana Wrath. Like, it's pretty easy for this to be -9, -9, -10, -10, just killing everything, and since literally every creature in our deck is a snow creature, not hurting us at all. Otherwise, Remand, just something for the unfair decks, a counter, hopefully slow them down by a turn or two. Glacial Revelation gives us a one-of source of card advantage. With 43 snow permanents, we're often drawing like 4 cards with Glacial Revelation, which pretty good for 3 mana. 1 Into the North as a land tutor probably looks weird, but we have a land in our deck that we really want. If the game goes long against like control style decks, the craziest card in our deck is Scrying Sheets, which is just 1 in a snow, tap it, look at the top card of your library. If it's a snow, it gets to go in your hand. Well, we have 43 snow permanents, which means with Scrying Sheets, it's essentially 2 mana tap and draw a card almost 75% of the time, which is an absurd source of card advantage. We generate so much card advantage with Scrying Sheets, so being able to tutor up with Into the North is a nice upside. Plus, we can always just ramp with Into the North. It does put a snow land on the battlefield. Mana base, lots of snow-covered basics, easiest way to up our snow count to get our Marit Lage going. Prismatic Vista lets us find all the basics, couple of other fetch lands, a couple of shock lands just to make the mana function. Annoying that they are not snow, but for example, if we want to go turn 1 Boreal Druid, turn 2 Orin Viper, for example, really helpful to be able to grab like a breeding pool, so our mana base is like halfway functional. So a couple of shock lands, while it's annoying that they're not snow covered, they're still very important to our mana functioning. Sideboard wise, for creature decks, Cover of Winter and Dead of Winter, more creature hate stuff. Cover of Winter, kind of this weird damage prevention thing that gets expensive after a while, but still, if our opponent's going wide with tokens, basically just prevents all of their creature damage for a few turns. And then we have a ton of stuff for unfair decks. Leyline of the Void, Nihil Spellbomb for graveyard decks like Hogik, for example. Pithing Needle, also really good against Hogik. Snipes on Planeswalkers against Control or Tron. Dabbing Fear for more Storm-style decks, also for Tron-style decks. Night of Autumn, a nice catch-all. Life gain against Burn, Artifact Destruction. 1 Negate is a counter spell, and that is Marit Lage's 4-color Simic Snow Stompy for Modern. And that's our Against the Odds deck for this week. So let's get into the gameplay, see how practical it is to get 10 snow permanents, win the game with Marit Lage. Are the rest of the snow stuff good enough to support this style of deck? We're gonna find out. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoy the gameplay, and I will talk to you soon. Alright, Against the Odds time. We are playing some Simic Snow Stompy in Modern. Marit Lage's Slumber, and we'll keep this. That's fine. We got the Marit Lage's Slumber, got some counter spells. We'll see how it goes. We'll give it a shot. Glacial Revelation could draw us a bunch of cards. Alright, so we will lead on Misty. Pass the turn. Opponent. Unclaimed territory on human. Oh. Ho-ho! Alright. Slivers. Alright. Gale Rider Sliver. Well, crack Misty, snag a snow-covered forest, and untap. Ooh. Kotal's good. Kotal is kind of our removal spell. Play the snow-covered island. Like, we have some real removal, but having a ton of Death Touch creatures kind of gives us extra removal. Probably want to try to remand stuff if we can, since probably have Cavern of Souls, Ether Vial, Opponent. What sliver this time? Diffusion Sliver. Yeah. I mean, that's not a huge deal, but we really want to use remands while we can. So, remand, draw a card. Estru. Labby. Yeah, alright. Opponent gets in for 1. Sure. Down to 18. And passes. Well, we untap. More Kotals. These Kotals should be good against Slivers. Let's just run out Astrolabe. Lobby. Draw a card. And opponent. Alright, we draw a land, play Snow-Covered Forest, and I think we just pass. Pass, leave up remand. That's the other nice thing about Codal is we're able to leave up remand here, and we still have the ability to flash in a Codal if need be. See what our opponent does. Still really would like to just get remands out of our hand, because I know they're going to get blanked at some point. Opponent. Diffusion Sliver Part 2. Alright. We'll let it go this time. And Ether Vial. Well, now the remand's not looking as hot. Opponent, no attacks. Expecting the Codal. Well, there is a Codal. Draw card. Alright. We find Burial Druid. Well, untap Viper. I think we just want to Slumber here, and then leave up remand and Codal again. Get our Scry on. We're already up to 6 snow permanents at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have 1, 2, 3 more in hand, plus his Glacial Revelation, which that could be a lot of snow permanents. Slumber, Viper to the bottom. I think we mostly want to hit our land drops, honestly. That's our safest way to get a Marit Lage. Just make our land drop. So 6 snow permanents, 1 more from Prismatic Fisto. We're actually maybe 2 turns away, depending on how this goes, from Marit Lage. Opponent, Vial. Ticking up to 1. Opponent. Sliver number 3 is Mana Weft. Yeah, I think we gotta remand that. That lets our opponent have an explosive turn. Because they can Mana Weft and then also tap their Slivers to cast another Sliver. So yeah, we gotta remand. Plus, this Vial's gonna blank our remand shortly. Snow-covered Plains, Slumber, Scrying Sheets. Oh, that's a land. That is a snow land. So yeah. Make a blue with Astrolabe. Eventually. Once our opponent allows us. So 7 snow permanents. 8, 9, 10. Wow. We can actually go to 10 snow permanents next turn, can't we? Burial Druid, Codal, Land. That is 10. Marit Lage is coming. The countdown is on, Slivers. The Marit Lage countdown. So remand Mana Weft. There's a Scrying Sheets. Now we really don't want to block because we want this Marit Lage. Opponent attacks. We will take 2. Opponent passes. Scrying Sheets. Well, play Scrying Sheets. As its name suggests, we get to scry. Oh god, Dead of Winter. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, so if nothing goes wrong, we get to make a Marit Lage next upkeep and then sweep the board. Well, our opponent's board, since we have all snow creatures in a 2020. So play Viper. Snow permanent number 9. And then we get to just flash in Codal. So unless our opponent has interaction of some kind, we got him. We got him with the Marit Lage. Yes, keeping Dead of Winter. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Vial gonna go up to 2. I don't think Slivers can beat Marit Lage. Okay, opponent. Vials and Mana Weft, I assume. They might be trying to play a 5-color sliver, first sliver type thing. There's Mana Weft. Opponent. What else do you got? Sinew Sliver. Alright, Sliver Lord, sure. I don't think this beats a Marit Lage. Definitely not Marit Lage Dead of Night. Or Dead of Winter. Opponent. Combat. Attacks. We will take it down to 11. And now we're going to make Slivers very sad. Alright. Flash at this Codal. Draw the Dead of Winter. That's Snow Permanent number 10. Scry last, because we know we want Dead of Winter. Codal. Dead of Winter. Scry doesn't really matter. I think we just win with what we got, honestly. Burial Druid to the bottom. Untap. Make a Marit Lage. Here is a 2020 Indestructible. This is turn 6. That is not bad speed for a Marit Lage. Astrolabe. Well, make a black mana. Sweep the Sliver board. And this probably just does it. I don't know what they're going to do about this. Dead of Winter. Opponent, this is a 3-mana one-sided Wrath. Everything gets -9 of our opponents. Our stuff doesn't care, and that is the Marit Lage win. All right, that was pretty impressive. All right, sideboard-wise, what are we looking for? We want the other Dead of Winter. We don't really have a ton. Cover of Winter, I don't know if it's worth it. Opponent, can make some pretty big slivers. Probably has Harmonic Sliver in their sideboard. Knight of Autumn, maybe? It does get Ether Vial, which is nice. Yeah, let's bring in the Knight of Autumns, and I think we just gotta trim Remands. We saw Vial. I assume there's Cavern. Remand's just too risky. Go down to 1 Remand. Even though it looked good last game, just the odds of it looking good again are too slim. So, alright, opponent is on the play here for game number 2. And, alright, sounds fine. We got our Dead of Winter. And Knight of Autumn if our opponent has Ether Vial. Alright, Verdant Catacombs for our opponent. And passes. Ooh. I mean, ramp into this Tree Folk, although our mana's a little annoying here. Technically, this Prismatic Vista, we need black, we need blue, and we need white. So we'll see. Hopefully we draw lands. I guess we actually need another green, too, for this Viper. We are taxing this Prismatic Vista to the max. Opponent gets a Godless Shrine. Ghost Quarter. Oh, boy. Opponent's playing our mana base. So 5-color, find a way to squeeze a Ghost Quarter in. And, I mean, now... Oh, that's an island. That's very good. Well, now we're definitely just Knight of Autumning this Ether Vial. With our opponent's mana looking so bad, there's a chance I just might not really get to cast anything here. So Knight of Autumn. Blowing up the Vial, and yeah, that is the risk of Vial. Sometimes it gets blown up, and sometimes you just can't do anything. And then we get to Tree Folk next turn, and it's going to be massive. I think we're in good shape. Ether Vial, down. Opponent. Sliver Hive. Alright, that helps with their mana issues. Sinew Sliver. Sure. And passes. Snow-covered Forest. Well, yeah, let's just get Big Daddy Snowman on board. 5/5 trample so far. Tap it down. This is the card that has surprised me most in the Snow deck. It's actually very powerful. I mean, some matchups it's better than others, but it often ends up the biggest thing on the board, and lets us get in a hit with Vipers and whatnot by tapping. Get him a Knight of Autumn, hit our opponent, down to 17, and pass the turn. Opponent. Urborg. Well, I guess they can cast all their black slivers. Oh, that actually turns on our Dead of Winter. That might have been a bad choice by our opponent. Dredgescape Sliver. And passing. Sure. Now, play Scrying Sheets. Play Burial Druid. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent. Gonna get Tree Folked. Yeah, I mean, that's a 7/7 trample already. That's gonna keep growing. Opponent takes 7. And we might actually just win next turn, as weird as that sounds. Like, Dead of Winter, Wrath the board, attack with our snow creatures. Looks like 10 to me after we play a snowland. Opponent. Combat. No attacks. Well, we get to Scrying Sheets. Whiff. Untap. Do we even go for it? Do we need to go for it? Let's wait. Let's just play Snow-Covered Forest. Play Viper. Tree Folk up to a 10/10. Or a 9/9. Tag our opponent. Down to... what? Down to 1. Okay, well... opponent's gonna need something pretty good this turn. Cycles Homing Sliver. So they get to tutor for a Sliver. Sliver cycling. I don't know what Sliver saves them. Maybe Necrotic. If they can get Necrotic Sliver and kill our stuff. Otherwise, I think we just Snow Stomped them. Marit Lage in Game 1, Tree Folk in Game 2, and that's what this deck's tried to do. That is it. Opponent. Alright, Double Strike Sliver. Sure. I mean, yeah, that's fine. Still dies to Dead of Winter. Opponent. Yep. Bone Scythe. Slivers. Double Striking. So, Scrying Sheets. I mean, I think this is over. Our opponent could have Path, I guess, but... Scrying Sheets. And opponent just scoops it up. Okay, we just Snow Stomp Sliver. Marit Lage Snowman, get it done. All right, that was sweet. Sweet. Sweet, sweet. All right, against the odds time, we are playing Simic 4-color Snow Stompy in Modern. And this hand looks pretty good. We got snow stuff. We don't have our Marit Lage's Slumber, but We'll find it. It doesn't do that much. I do like the scrying part of it, but it's not going to flip for a minute anyway. So Snow-Covered Island and Astrolabe. I think I've said that a lot of different ways. We draw. Into. Alright, Snow-Covered Swamp is fine. That's good. Let's see what our opponent's up to across the board. Mountain. Fanatical Firebrand. Alright, so some kind of goblin deck. Opponent. Combat. Attacks. Down to 19. And passes. Snow-Covered Forest. You. Probably 8 whack. Fanatical Firebrand is 8 wacky. Mountain for our opponent. Burning Tree. Yes, remand that. Okay, Vipes. Vipes is good. Opponent, combat. Getting in for 1. Yeah. Down to 19. Or 18. Opponent passes. Snow-Covered Swamp. And let's just Viper. And pass the turn. Well, hope this isn't too bad. We know there is a Burning Tree Emissary coming. Hopefully it's not like Burning Tree into whack. If it's just like one Burning Tree into a whack, we can survive that. Next turn we can double ice-fang Codal. Foundry Street Denizen. Into Burning Tree Emissary. Into. Oh, they got the doubles. Alright, that's not good. Especially if they also have a whack to go with it. And there is the whack to go with it. Yeah, that's not ideal. So we are taking a massive chunk of damage here. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If we block Foundry Street, yeah, that's a lot. Opponent, combat. Attacks. So if we block here, we take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But we still have a Viper. That does put us dead to Goblin Grenade, though. Yeah, we gotta do it. We gotta take the hit. Yeah, that is what 8-Whack wants to do. That is a very good start. And now we're basically dead to any burn spell, essentially. Opponent, yeah, hits us to 5. Tree Folk. Well, play Snow-Covered Island. Do we get in with Viper? The odds of drawing Dead of Winter is just too low. I think we just gotta pass. I would not be surprised if we were dead. Opponent, untaps. Mountain. Fanatical Firebrand. Grows the Foundry Street Denizen. Combat. Opponent. Swings. Well, ice-fang Codal. Draw a card. Ice-fang Codal. Draw a card. Block. 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 Drop to 2. And opponent passing. Well, get in with Viper. Draw a card. Yup. Play Scrying Sheets. Play Abominable Tree Folk. Tap down Fanatical Firebrand. Play Boreal Druid. Pass the turn. Nothing. No bird. No haze. Oh my god, it's Ravenant Druids. Alright. Yeah. Well, sometimes all it takes is one hit. Bring in Night of Autumns, Cover of Winter, Dead of Winter. Go down remands. And run it like that. Yeah, the old double Burning Tree draw. Whew! That's asking for a lot to overcome the double Burning Tree draw. That's when 8-Whack looks insane. When you have multiple one-drop, multiple one-drops, multiple Burning Trees, and a whack, that's just so much damage so quick. And that's against any deck. That's not our deck. That's just how that works. We're going to mulligan this. It's so slow. Alright, well, we will keep this. Alright, Tree Folk Part 2. Sure. Flooded Strand, go. We are going to need another land. Opponent. Mountain. Goblin Guide. Alright. Well, now I think we're going to crack. We would like to hit a land. Crack Flooded Strand. Snow-Covered Plains. On thin ice. Well, we got lots of removal. That's for sure. Opponent hits us. Down to 17. Well, we will on thin ice. Snag the Goblin Guide. Snow-covered forest. Go. Opponent. Ramana Bruins. Foundry Street Denizen. And Foundry Street Denizen. Yeah. Opponent. Passing. We draw Viper. Well, I think what we do here is Misty Rainforest, crack it. Take a Temple Garden, untapped. On Thin Ice. Get rid of the Foundry Street. On Thin Ice. Get rid of the Foundry Street. And now we hope we draw a land to play this Tree Folk, which we have a lot of snow permanents. We have 3 lands and 6 snow permanents. Land for our opponent. Alright, Sad Bushwhacker. And Happy Bushwhacker. Okay, so we take 4. Down to 10. This Tree Folk is a huge roadblock if we can get it down, though. Opponent hits us. Down to 10. Opponent passing. Ugh, our manas. Alright, Viper. Go. At least Viper's a blocker. Opponent. Fanatical Firebrand. Goblin Grenade. Alright. Opponent's out of cards, but we are out of board, and we need a blue source, and we need it this turn. Down to 7. Opponent passes. Oh my god. On Thin Ice. That is not a blue source. We have drawn every On Thin Ice in our deck. Pass the turn. Opponent. Oh my god, more action. Goblin Guide. Opponent. Attacks. Glacial Revelation. Yeah. And I think that's the death of us. We untap. We cast Glacial Revelation, which should hopefully hit us some lands. Sort of. A nice colorless land. Yeah. Alright. We just could not find our mana this game, unfortunately. Opponent untaps. Combat. Yeah, this is a sad one. Gets it. Hits us. Top card. Not a land. It's a Viper, and yeah, we're dead. Yeah, that was very awkward. Huh. Alright. Against the odds time. We are playing some Simic Snow. Well, Simic 4-color Snow. And yeah, we'll keep this. Island for our opponent, Serum Visions. Okay. Opponent. Passing. Well, Misty Rainforest, crack Misty Rainforest. Snow-covered Island, Astrolabe. Into Scrying Sheets. Alright, pass the turn. What is our opponent doing? Land. Oh my god. Pyromancer's Ascension. Alright, well, I don't think we can beat a Pyromancer's Ascension, honestly. Misty Rainforest, crack Misty Rainforest. Snow-covered Forest. Marit Lage's Slumber. Well, we'll keep the Codal, pass the turn. Yeah, we're just going to lose. We don't have a way... Man, I wish we'd won the die roll to be able to remand that. We don't really have a way to get it off the battlefield main deck. And we don't have Graveyard Hate main deck. So, I would be very surprised if we survive a Pyromancer's Ascension. Steam Vents, untapped, opponent. Thinking, passing. Well, we will play Scrying Sheets. Scry. Snow-covered Forest to the bottom. Pass the turn. Opponent, Vendilion Click. Well, we will remand Vendilion Click into Scrying Sheets. I mean, I guess a Marit Lage could somehow steal it if we got to it. Snapcaster. Well, that's a spell out of the graveyard. Yep, Serum Visions. So maybe this Pyromancer Ascension isn't as scary as it looks. Opponent, digging for lands, I assume. 2 to the bottom. Well, we will Flooded Strand. Crack it. Snow-covered Island. Scry. Scrying Sheets to the bottom. Play Snow Daddy. Tap down the snap. That is a clock. I mean, Abominable Snowman is massive. That is a 7/7, and it's growing. And we're 3 snow permanents away from a Marit Lage. In theory, we could put 3 on the battlefield this turn. Maybe we are going to get past this Pyromancer's Ascension. Arid Mesa. Opponent. Passes. Okay. We draw Snow-covered Forest. Well, play Prismatic Vista. Crack Prismatic Vista. Snow-covered plains. Scry. Keep Astrolabe. On thin ice. Get rid of the Snapcaster. Keep the Astrolabe. Ice-fang Codal. Opponent remands. Well, okay. Go to combat. Hit our opponent for 9. Pass the turn. Is Marit Lage incoming? Opponent down to 8. Opponent has to win or deal with our Tree Folk. Plains. Lightning Helix. Okay. That's keeping our opponent temporarily alive. What do you got, opponent? We know one card is Vendilion Click. No counters on Ascension yet. Opponent passing. Vendilion Click. Targets us. So we will Codal. Draw. Scry. We don't want another Marit Lage Slumber. That is 10 snow permanents. Opponent's got to kill one of our things just to keep us from getting a Marit Lage. All right, Helix on Codal. So our opponent, they do get another turn. Opponent passes. Well, play Boreal Druid. Scry. On thin ice to the top. 1, 2, 1. Is it to the top? 10, 11. Oh, we can't win this turn. All right, on thin ice to the top. Snow-covered forest. Scry. Combat. Hit our opponent for 11. Down to 3. Pass the turn. 11 snow permanents. Opponent untaps. Ascension is not on yet. They need one more counter before they start doubling. Flooded Strand. Opponent gets in with Click. Hits us to 10. Sure. Well, we will Scrying Sheets. Take on thin ice. Untap. Marit Lage. Play Scrying Sheets. Go to combat. Attack with the Tree Folk. And opponent's done? Okay, that worked. They couldn't get their Ascension on in time. What do we want versus this deck? Negate is good. Leyline seems pretty reasonable. Night of Autumns. And maybe Pithing Needles for Planeswalkers. We can go down Dead of Winter. We can trim back on Thin Ice. Go down the Into the North. Maybe we gotta go down one Slumber. One Slumber. A Viper. Glacial Revelation. And let's go down one Boreal Druid. Try it like that. Well, that was a good win at game one, that's for sure. Okay. Well, this is fine. Island for our opponent. And pass it. Well, snow-covered forest. And Astrolabe. Opponent gonna do some spell piercing. Alright. I mean, that is kind of annoying here. That does keep us from making white mana at the moment. Mountain. Opponent. Passing. Yeah. Let's Breeding Pool untapped. And Slumber. Resolves. We will keep Codal. Pass the turn. Opponent. Oh boy. A little bit stuck? Looks like a little bit stuck. Play Snow-Covered Swamp. Scry. Boreal Druid to the bottom. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Passing. Well, let's Codal. They might have a remand, but Codal resolves. So Scry first. See if we can draw land. Vista definitely works. Draw Prismatic Vista. Untap. Snow-covered island. Now go to combat. Get in with the Codal. Opponent down to 19. Yeah, I mean, let's Scry. I think it's Tree Folk time. Vista can go bottom for now. And yeah, run out Big Papa Tree Folk. That's a clock. That is a real clock. That's a 6/6 that's going to keep growing. Okay, bolts are Codal. We will definitely keep remand. Pass the turn. All right, can you beat a Tree Folk opponent? Can you beat a 5/5 trampler? Not hitting a land, opponent, passing. Okay, well, we will Prismatic Vista, crack it. Snow-covered plains, Scry. Keep remand. Play Boreal Druid. Scry, keep remand. And things are looking good. A blue-red deck is not the kind of deck that beats a 7/7 easily. And even less so when they have 2 lands and we have 2 remands. Opponent down to 12. Untaps. And Opponent. Snapcaster. Sure. I mean, I don't even think we care. Opponent's just trying not to discard the hand size. Opponent passes. Well, on thin ice. Get rid of Snapcaster. Scry. Land to the bottom. Combat. Hit our opponent. Down to 3, and that is game. Our opponent got a little mana screwed, but still. I mean, Snow Stompy. Opponent scoops it up. Yeah? Impressive. Impressive, impressive. Whoo! Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right. Against the odds time, we are playing 4-color Simic Snow Stompy. trying to make some Marit Lages. Marit Lages in Modern. Technically not banned anymore. Just gotta do a little bit more work to actually do it. Okay. I mean, this is fine. Yeah. I mean, we'll keep it. We got snow stuff. Got a Marit Lage Slumber. Spire Bluff Canal for our opponent. Are we getting stormed? I don't want to get stormed. We're getting stormed. Well, we have some okay sideboard cards for storm. Sleight of hand. Yeah. Opponent passing. And Misty Rainforest. Let's just Flooded Strand. Crack it. Snow-covered island. And Astrolabe. Draw card. Well, we have answers to their creatures. On Thin Ice does deal with Brawls. Spire Bluff. Brawl. Well, we gotta kill Brawl. Opponent passing. So, let's see. Snow-covered plains. On Thin Ice. Get rid of Brawl. Pass the turn. Hopefully our opponent can't immediately Brawl and combo. We can't leave up Remand here, opponent. Alright, just passing. That we do like. We untap. We draw. Codal. Well, that makes it easy. Play the land, pass the turn. We get to leave up Remand. If we don't Remand, we can flash in Codal. Metamorphose. Draws a card. It's like Ritual Gifts Ungiven. Ritual. Alright. Well, now we will just Remand. Opponent untaps. Electromancer. Opponent passing? Opponent's passing. Well, Snow-covered swamp. On Thin Ice. Opponent remands. That's fine. White mana. On Thin Ice. And we're actually up to 6 snow permanents. We're not that far away from Marit Lage. Opponent untaps. Steam Vents. Untapped. Gifts Ungiven. Well, Crack Misty. Snow-covered forest. Remand Gifts Ungiven. Into a Tree Folk. Opponent passing. Oh, Dead of Winter, not that helpful. So play Marit Lage Slumber. If we hit a land there, oh, we were so close. All right, Prismatic Fist on top. If we hit a land there, we could have made a Marit Lage this next turn. Instead, we got to wait one more. And that might be enough. Our opponent's finally going to resolve this Gifts Ungiven. And we're out of remands. Opponent. Serum Visions. Bottom, top, land. And there's the Gifts Ungiven. Yup. Okay. What can we find? I guess we basically have to draw a third remand to have a shot. Grape Shot, Manamorphose, Past in Flame. Well, mill, Past in Flame. Mill, Manamorphose. ice-fang Codal. And now I think we actually have to scry the land to the bottom. We really need to hit remand. Scry to the bottom, draw Astrolabe. Opponent passes. Snow-covered forest. So play Snow-covered forest. Scry. We do get a lot of looks, but we've already used 2 remands. Land to the bottom. Play Astrolabe. Scry, then draw. Remand. Remand. Viper to the bottom. Viper not to the bottom. Now, go to combat. Attack. Well, we get one more scry draw. We'll see. Opponent untaps. Snow-covered island. Oh, they have the Electromancer. Okay. Do they have rituals? They do. Ritual. Ritual. Well, I mean, this is it. This is it. Ice-fanged Codal. Scry. Gotta be remand. Burial Druid to the bottom. Do we draw a remand or is it game? Oh my god, that is a remand. Alright, well, let's see if they have a remand. Remand? Oh, they really do. Alright. Yeah, so that's game. Although that also kind of shows the power of Marit Lage's Slumber. That, I mean, our opponent, that was a little fortunate, I guess, but our opponent had to run pretty well. And to have opponent had to have another remand. We were able to find a third remand based on the power of Marit Lage's Slumber, primarily. So Leyline, Stamping Spheres, Nile, Spellbomb, Negate. Go down Dead of Winter. Go down Glacial Revelation. Go down Into the North. Go down probably a couple of Tree Folks. And I guess Burial Druids. Let's keep 3 Tree Folks. We do need a clock. Alright, run it like that. Oh, that was really close against Storm in game 1. We were so close. If our opponent didn't have that remand, didn't have a remand in hand, we're very likely to win that game. Opponent was empty-handed, essentially, and we were going to get a Marit Lage the next turn, so we had 2 turns to win the game. So close! Well, we know the unfair decks can be tough in game 1, but theoretically, we have a lot of stuff to fight them in just games 2 and 3. And Marit Lage's Slumber to help us find him. We gotta keep on thin ice to deal with the brawls. Alright, we're on the plate, and okay. We got a Damping Sphere, we got a Negate, we got an on thin ice. This seems reasonable. Snow-covered forest and Astrolabe. Draw card. Ooh, one card deeper. We would have had it. Sleight of hand. We wouldn't mind drawing lands, I guess, from here. Opponent passing. Well, Misty. Crack it. Snow-covered island. Damping Sphere. Pass the turn. Opponent. Steam Vents. Untapped. And a Braids Damping Sphere. Alright. Not ideal. Opponent's passing. We draw. Lands. Viper. Alright. Pass the turn. They had the answer to hate piece number 1, and our Leyline was 1 card too deep. Opponent, untaps. And we're not hitting lands, which is also an issue. Opponent, mana, Morphos. Sure. Draws a card. Finds a land. Pyretic Ritual. Sure. Empty the Warrens. Well, let's remand a copy. Tree Folk that is still currently uncastable. Opponent passes. We draw. Lands, please. Oh, God. Well, alright. Marit Lage's Slumber. At this point, we're just desperate for lands. We cannot... Gotta go bottom. Our opponent's got a bunch of goblins. Oh, this is a rough one. Opponent, combat. Gonna get in for a bundle. Hits us. Down to 15. Pieces of the puzzle. Ritual, Metamorphose. Yeah. Opponent passes. Nada. Oh my god. Wow, this is... Okay, pass the turn. Well, I guess this one just wasn't meant to be. Kind of disappointing. We were so close at game 1, and we had a lot of the cards we wanted at game 2, but we've just run very awkwardly. Leyline, our first draw after keeping our hand into 2 lands for infinity and beyond. And that's with, like, scrying and drawing extra cards with remand. We just don't have lands on the top of our deck, unfortunately. Opponent passes. Well, there's a land, finally. Viper, gotta go bottom. On thin ice. Get rid of a goblin. Well, there's a land. Pass the turn. I'm thinking this is just too slow, though. Opponent. Untaps. Combat hits us to 8. 7 cards it had, so they're close to reassembling. We couldn't keep our second Damping Sphere because we just cannot draw lands and we were behind the goblins. Opponent hits us. 8. And passes. Well, we draw land. On thin ice. Get rid of a goblin. So many vipers. Pass the turn. Here comes Gifts Ungiven. Well, we will negate, but I assume we just die here. Opponent untaps. 7 cards in hand. We are defenseless. Opponent, combat, attacks, down to 6. And ritual, Manamorphose, Past in Flames, and we scoop it up. Whew. Well, we were close against Storm. Close. All right. Against the odds time, we are playing some Simic Snow Stompy. Ooh, all right. Up against the Goblerinos, eh? Let's just Temple Garden tapped. Pass the turn. Well, come on, Dead of Winners. Dead of Winners seems like what we want against this deck. Anthin also, Ice is also good. And I mean, Kotal's kind of a removal spell. This might work. Goblins is on the rise with Modern Horizons cards in the format, that's for sure. Ether Vial Part 2. Alright, that's better than other options. Well, since our opponent's hasn't played anything, let's just Marit Lage Slumber. Scry, Prismatic Vista. Let's go bottom. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. This Abominable Tree Folk's gonna be big. We might actually be in pretty good shape. Opponent taking up the vials and passing. Opponent's passing. Remand doesn't look great. Play Prismatic Vista. Pass the turn. Opponent vials in Mog War Marshal. Yup. Untaps, taking up the vials. 4 cards in hand. Likely all action, since our opponent has missed land drop last turn. Alright, opponent's going to pay for the Marshal. Blood Crypt tapped. Combat. Gets in. Let's take it. Down to 18. Well, crack Prismatic Vista. Take a Snow-Covered Swamp. Scry. Snow-Covered Forest to the bottom. ice-fang Kotal. Scry draw. Remand definitely to the bottom. On thin ice. Well, play Scrying Sheets. Scry. Scrying Sheets to the bottom. And yeah, let's Abominable Tree Folk. Tap down War Marshal. Scry. We will keep Astrolabe. And pass the turn. Vials in. Matron? It's a Matron. Alright. See what our opponent finds. What we really want to find is Dead of Winter before we are dead ourselves. Alright. Opponent grabs a Pile Driver. Pile Driver into play. Well, this is going to be a big hit of damage, unfortunately. No attacks. Pass the turn. Since both of our creatures are blue, we can't actually block Pile Driver. Ugh, that's brutal. Opponent, taking up. And Chain Whirler. Kills Kotal. Combat. Opponent. Oh, gonna hit us for 1,000,000. Big attack. Well, block Matron. Takes 6, down to 10. Opponent passes. So play Astrolabe. Scry and draw. Burial Druid bottom. We would like to hit a land, I think. Burial Druid. Now, on thin ice. Get rid of the Pile Driver. Remand, definitely bottom. And yeah, pass. Pass the turn. Stay back with the Tree Folk. Vials in. Chain Whirler. Pings us to 9. Now this might just be enough. Just playing the Chain Whirlers might be enough. Vials. 4 and 3. Opponent. Or 5 and 3. Goes to combat. Attacks. Well, we will add green. Run out of Kotal. Opponent draws a card. We get to Scry draw. Alright. Keep Vista. Draw Vista. Block. Drop to 7. Yep. Opponent. Another Vial. We get to untap. Oh, it's the Dead of Winter. That's what we wanted. That's what we needed. Okay. 1, 2. Alright, play Prismatic Vista. Crack it. Snow-Covered Forest. Scry. Misty to the bottom. Well, we'll see what they can file into play. That's the big question. Dead of Winter. Opponent gets a 1/1. Burial Druid. Scry. Codal. I guess that's fine. Burial Druid. Scry. Keep the Codal. Opponent. Oh, they actually have Siege Gang in hand? Earwig Squad. Alright. Well, pass the turn. No attacks, no attacks, no attacks. Playing defense. Opponent untaps. Vial's doing Vial-y things. 5, 4, and 1. Opponent. Vial's in. 4 mana. Trashmaster. Mog War Marshal. Going wide. 1 card in hand. Opponent. Okay. Sacks to blow up Astrolabe. Sure. An opponent passes. Well, we will, on thin ice, get rid of Trashmaster. Scry. Land to the bottom. Combat. Oh, this is so greedy. Yeah, let's attack. Hopefully there's not another Chain Whirler. We're in trouble. Opponent untaps. Can we steal it against the Goblins? Vials 5, 4, and 2. Goblin Grenade would get us. Although I'm not sure if this build can really play Goblin Grenade. Opponent. Combat. All out attack. Well, we will ice-fang Codal. Scry draw. Slumber to the bottom. Slumber to the top. And opponent scoops it up! And we got there, we got there, we got there against one of the hot new decks of the format. We didn't quite get our Marit Lage out, but it was enough. So Dead of Winter in. Cover of Winter in. Night of Autumn probably in. And go down remands. Because of Ether Vial and because of Ether Vial and because of Cavern of Souls, I don't think we can actually play remand against Goblins. Alright. Well, Dead of Winter's our best card here. Yeah, that went well. That went well. It was close, but we caught back up. Opponent. Okay. Little slower than we'd like, but we do have Tree Folk. There's the Ether Vial. And Tree Folk are big. Opponent. Pass it. Another Slumber is not the most ideal. Well, Temple Garden tapped. Pass the turn. Looking for those Dead of Winters. That's our most important card, I think. Opponent. Vial. Up to 1. And Blood Crypt. Tapped. Opponent's passing. Well, Snow-Covered Island and Slumber. Scry. Snow-Covered Forest to the bottom. Pass the turn. Opponent. Take it up. Taking up, taking up. We're not far away from these Tree Folk, and they're going to get big. Opponent. Vials in a 2-drop. It is. Warren Instigator. Okay. Little scared of that. Oh my god. Very scared of that. Okay, nah. This might just be deadly. Opponent gets in. Sure. That's Fashalik Mons. Okay, well that's the best Goblin start imaginable. Night of Autumn. Not good enough here. Play this, crack this. Yeah, that's a pretty insane start. Grab a snow-covered forest. Scry. Land to the bottom. Codal. Scry. Night of Autumn to the bottom. Draw. Astrolabe. Alright, yeah. I believe that does it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, that was a good start. That was a good one. Well, that's what Warren Instigator can do if it can get in hits. And Instigator into Lord, whoo boy. That's a lot. That's a lot of damage. That was like 12 Goblin power on turn 2 or something ridiculous. Just something a little bit insane. Well, come on, Dead of Winter. That is the card we need. Okay, we'll keep this. No Dead of Winter, but we have a nice little start here. Land Burial Druid. Pass the turn. Blood Crypt for our opponent. Untapped. And always with the Ether Vial. Opponent's passing. Huh. Well, let's Snow-Cover Island. Play Astrolabe. Draw a card. Ooh, that's not bad for next turn. Pass the turn. So we get to ice-fang Codal and then blow up the Vial and make our opponent play fair. Opponent. Blood Crypt. Tapped. And passing. Alright, so add blue. Codal. Draw a card. Untap. So, Flooded Strand. Crack it. Snow-covered Plains. Night of Autumn. Blow up Ether Vial. Combat. Attack. And this is more where we want to be. Opponent. Oh boy. Does not like playing fair. We draw a snow-covered island. So, add green. Play Viper. Misty. Combat. Attack. Hit our opponent. When you rely too much on the vial and it gets blown up, life is sad. Snow-covered mountain for our opponent. And Chain Whirler. Okay, that is a lot for a little. Opponent passes. Huh. So let's just Glacial Revelation. Land, Marit Lage, Slumber. Play Snow-covered island. Crack Misty Rainforest. Take Snow-covered forest. Marit Lage, Slumber. Scry. Scrying Sheets to the bottom. Pass the turn. All right, opponent, let's see what you got. We're actually close to a Marit Lage. We're at 8 snow-covered permanents, and we get to add a bunch more. Opponent gets in. Hits us. Down to 14. Yep. And what do you got? Can you beat the Marit Lage? The countdown is on. Mons. Okay. Anti-Shovel. Tapped. Oh, we untap. Boy, I thought we scried that to the bottom. So play a Viper. Scry. Land to the bottom. Snow-covered forest. Scry. Burial Druid to the bottom. Into the north. Scrying Sheets. Scry. That's a dead of winter. All right, opponent. All right. Well, we have 11 snow permanents. What can you do? What can you do? Can you beat a Marit Lage? That is the question of the hour. And we have a sweeper for next turn. And opponent scoops it up. They see Marit Lage coming, and that was good. Simic Snow Stompy. Stop it through the Gobleritos. All right, this deck is actually pretty reasonable. Pretty sweet. Whew. Well, we didn't get to see Marit Lage, but we would have if our opponent stuck with it another turn or two. Sweet. All right. Against the odds time, we are playing 4-color Simic Snow Stompy. Looking to Marit Lage people. Ugh. All right. Stand's not great by any stretch, but we are on the draw? We're on the play. I don't even think we want Burial Druid. All right. Misty, go. Yeah, this is not the dream draw. We do have Marit Lage's Slumber, but we are many snow permanents away from it working. Mountain for our opponent. And Riftbolt suspended. All right. Let's see how we do against Burn. If we get a Marit Lage, it should be sweet. Opponent passing. Viper. Well, crack Misty. Snow-covered forest. Flooded Strand. Crack Flooded Strand. Snow-covered island. And, yep, Marit Lage's Slumber. Here we come. 7 more to go. Into the north. Oh, do we have to keep it? Let's go bottom. Pass the turn. We'd rather just draw land rather than have to spend 2 mana to get one. Riftbolt. Coming down. Yeah. Opponent. Down to 15. Another mountain. Light up the stage for Eidolon and Mountain. And light up the stage for Riftbolt and Mountain. Land, please? Burial Druid. Alright, I guess we just have to pass. Oh, this is awkward. At least our opponent had expensive cards off these light up the stages. Opponent. Mountain. Eidolon. Remand Eidolon. Draw a card. Alright, Prismatic Vista. Shard volleys us down to 12. Opponent passes. We don't really have life gain in our main deck, unfortunately. Prismatic Vista. Crack it. Snow-covered forest. Scry. Shuffled our into the north, back to the top. Oran Viper. Scry. Alright, we'll keep Kodal. I think our best way to win is somehow turn on Marit Lage. Unfortunately, a lot of our stuff triggers off this Eidolon, which is going to be a lot of damage. Opponent. Shard Valley. Okay, Shard Valley's Viper. And then plays Eidolon. Opponent passing. Well, Prismatic Vista, crack it. Down to 10. Snow-covered swamp, scry. Oh, we'll keep Treefolk. Dead of Winter, down to 8. Get rid of the Eidolon. Burial Druid, pass the turn. Scry, keeping the Treefolk. All right. I mean, 6 snow-covered lands, but we're down to 8, or snow-covered permanents. And our opponent is burning. And burning and burning. Opponent. Okay, Bolt's Burial Druid. Oh, an Eidolon. That actually worked out pretty well because we have Abominable Treefolk. Tap down Eidolon. Get a 6/6, which I'm not actually sure what our opponent does about a 6/6. Pass the turn. Man, maybe Treefolk can get there. We'll see. Opponent. Lands would be nice rather than burn spells. Taking damage off this Eidolon is still an issue. Land for our opponent. And Searing Blaze. All right. Down to 5. Untap. Well, play Codal. Down to 3. Scry draw. And another Treefolk. Temple Garden tapped. Combat. Get in with Treefolk. Hit our opponent. We need him to whiff. We're down into Bolt Rage, but a whiff is possible. Opponent at 11. Untaps. What do they draw? Combat. Gets in. Well, I mean, we will block with ice-fang Codal. And another Eidolon. This actually gives us a shot. So, Treefolk. Tap down Eidolon. I mean, if our opponent whiffs on a burn spell this turn, we win. Sure, Snow-Covered Island's fine. Combat. Opponent to 4. 1 turn whiff. 1 turn whiff. Draw a creature. Not a bird spell. A creature. A creature. Not a bolt. Not a bolt. Oh, and they drew it. Well, that was pretty close. So we get 2 Night of Autumns. And I guess maybe a negate. Going down into the north. And a couple of remands. Run it like that. All right. Well, we made it a close fight. Our opponent, if they whiffed 1 turn on a burn spell, we would have stole that with the Treefolk. Treefolk's legit. Does not feel like our best matchup. Modern's weird right now. You gotta be so focused on fighting the unfair decks that it's hard to have too much in the sideboard for the rest of the format. All right, we're on the play, which is good. And, well, okay. Vista. Crack it. Snow-covered forest. And Boreal Druid. Pass the turn. Mountain for our opponent. And Rift Bolt suspended. Sure. Yeah, let's just Snow-covered Island. Play. Actually, let's just pass. Get in with Boreal Druid. I think we're just going to remand the Rift Bolt and then try to Treefolk and go from there. Opponent. Rift Bolt. If it goes face, we'll let it go. If it goes Boreal Druid. Alright, going face, sure. Down to 16. Mountain. Light up the stage. Yeah, let's remand. And light up the stage. Hits. Searing Blaze and Mountain. Opponent. Passing. Alright, so let's just Marit Lage Slumber. Scry. Keep the Treefolk. Astrolab. Draw Treefolk. Scry. On Thin Ice. Yeah, I guess we keep it. Temple Garden tapped. Pass the turn. So our opponent can Searing Blaze our Boreal Druid, I guess, is probably the plan. There's the Searing Blaze, down to 13. Opponent, passing. Well, yeah, down to 11. Painfully. Treefolk. It's a 5/5. Yeah. We get to Scry. Snow-covered forest, sure. Pass the turn. Can our Treefolk race the bird spells? Our opponent does have 6 cards in hand, which that is a lot. Land for our opponent. And Firecraft down to 7. And Skewer. Yeah, they should have lethal burn here. Opponent passes. Our creature removal is not looking hot. Well, Treefolk number 2. Scry. Flooded Strand bottom. Land. Scry. Snow-covered swamp, whatever. Go attacking. I mean, we have lethal next turn. That's the TLDR. If our opponent cannot burn us out, we kill them with Treefolk. I expect they can burn us out. Lava Spike to 1. And something to something. Okay, Eidolon. Really? You can't kill us? That seems unlikely. Snow-covered swamp, scry. Yeah, sure, glacial revelation. I mean, are we getting slow rolled? Do we win? Opponent blocks, but it tramples. Wow, okay. Opponent did not have the burn. They must have had 2 lands it had. Okay. We were very close to conceding that game, but the tree folk came through, just trampling over. We couldn't get Marit Lage on online, and that's actually probably going to be a common theme of this matchup. Seems unlikely that we're ever going to actually Marit Lage against Burn, but it worked. Mountain for our opponent, and there is the swiftest of spears. Yeah, down to 19. Opponent passes. Glacial Revelation. Well, snow-covered forest. Astrolabe. Into snow-covered plains. Well, pass the turn. Opponent. Suspends Riftbolt. Suspends Riftbolt. Well, in Codal we trust. That's a lot of damage coming across. Down to 18. Opponent passes. Play snow-covered swamp. Pass the turn. Well, we will see. If they can kill this Codal and we don't get to block Swift Spear, that's an insane amount of damage. Opponent, down to 15. Opponent, down to 12. Yep. And down to 9. Yeah, opponent just keeps going. And lightning bolt. Down to 6. Well, and a mountain. Opponent. Combat. Yeah, let's Codal. Draw a card. Oh my god, ends Night of Autumn. So we get to kill? Oh my goodness! The tide has turned. Our opponent actually GG'd us. They thought we were dead. But we are not dead. And we drew a Night of Autumn. We are very, very, very much alive now. Snow-covered plains. Night of Autumn. Go back up to 10, and our opponent, they spent their hand. They spent their hand trying to burn us out. We're back up to 10. They got 1 card in hand. All right. The power of the Codal. Opponent's passing. Sure. So we add an extra green. Play Viper. Go to combat. Get in for 2. Play Snow-covered island. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Oh, we're going to steal this, aren't we? Another mountain. And now we get to start drawing extra cards? That's Marit Lage's Slumber. So, play Marit Lage's Slumber. Scry. To the... Yeah, let's go to the top. Scrying sheets. Scry. To the top. Glacial Revelation. Oh my god. Hit 6! The whole draw 6 for 3. Oh, we got him! After our opponent GG'd us. They thought they had us. Oh my goodness. Okay. And now we just have an abundance of riches. Oh my god. And we're going to make a Marit Lage. Opponent's passing. Another mountain. Opponent passes. That's a lot of on thin ices. So, Burial Druid, Scry. We might actually be getting the Marit Lage win against Burn. Just as we were saying, this seems very unlikely to ever happen against Burn during the mulligan or sideboarding. All right, so Scry first and then draw. Marit Lage's Slumber to the bottom. Scrying sheets. Prismatic Vista to the bottom. And just to be safe, let's on thin ice. Purely to up our snow count to make sure. Snow-covered forest to the bottom. Go to combat. Attack. 12 snow permanents here on turn 6. Yeah, well, we'll draw a card, sure. And, yeah, pass the turn. All right. Marit Lage is about to awake from its slumber. Monastery Swift Spear. And skewer the critics. Sure. Well, we're going to jump with Burial Druid just to make sure we don't somehow get janked out. Opponent attacks. We still have enough snow permanents. Throw Boreal Druid in front of the Swift Spear. Scrying Sheets. That's a Tree Folk. We will take it. Untap. The Slumber is over. That's a Marit Lage. Snow-covered Island. Abominable Tree Folk. Almost as big as Marit Lage. On Thin Ice. We actually don't want to play Marit Lage's Slumber. Alright, go to combat. Attack. We would have Legend Ruled ourselves. Well, I think Marit Lage getting the job done. There it is! It's awoken! I cannot believe we made a Marit Lage against Bird. It did require our opponent flooding out a bit, but I don't think there are... Yeah, no way to win. Opponent passes, and we're going to win the way we want to win. Combat, Marit Lage, all by itself. Get the GGs, and that is Snow Stompy. That is Marit Lage against Burn. Our opponent thought they had us dead. ice-fang Kotal sneaks in, draws us a Knight of Autumn, and then that bought us the time. That was a good one. Maybe this deck actually kind of works. Whew, sweet, sweet, sweet. So what do we learn this week about Marit Lage's 4-color Simic Snow Stompy in Modern? And the deck is pretty effective, I have to say. As far as our video matches, we went 4-2, which is like 66.7 match win percentage or something like that. Overall, since I put together this deck, as I was building it, played a couple games to kind of make sure it was where I wanted to be. Overall with the deck, I am 8-3, which is also pretty effective. Did lose another match to the Jeskai Ascendancy deck, which can be kind of a tough matchup. But really, I am very impressed with Marit Lage's 4-color Simic Snow Stompy. So let's start with the good news. And I think it's mostly good news here. But really, the snow stuff is very strong. It is worth building around. ice-fang Kotal, great. Oran Viper, pretty impressive in a lot of matchups. Abominable Tree Folk, insane. That is a card that I really didn't give much heedance to when it was spoiled. Didn't really pay attention to, but I started with like 2 in the deck, and I was like, oh my goodness, this card's great. And then went up to 3, went up to 4. Abominable Tree Folk is very, very good. Way better than I thought. As far as Marit Lage's Slumber, that is also better than I thought. When people have asked me about Marit Lage's Slumber, I mostly said, I don't know. It seems like a fun against the odds card, but it's really slow. I can't imagine getting to 10 snow permanents. But if you are willing to build around it, like we are, or we're like trying to play almost all snow permanents, apart from some of the fetch lands we need to make the mana base work, a couple of shock lands of the remands, we are all snow all the time. I guess also like Dead of Winter and a couple utility spells, but really our snow percentage incredibly high, which means we were turning on Marit Lage's Slumber very quickly, very consistently, and it was really responsible for a good percentage of our wins, either directly, like our opponent let us make a Marit Lage and kill them with it, or indirectly, where we would get up to enough snow permanents, our opponent would know it was coming, and they'd just be like, I can't beat this, and they would just scoop the game. So Marit Lage's Slumber is a lot better than I thought. Also, in a deck like this, with this many snow permanents, the scry is actually very insane. We lost to Storm, but we saw a great example of the power of Marit Lage's Slumber, where we knew our opponent was going to combo. They had their combo set off. We knew we needed a remand, but we'd already used 2 of them. So we're able to like play a Snowland and scry to the bottom, play a Astrolabe and scry to the bottom and draw a card, flash in an ice-fang Kotal, scry to the bottom, draw a card. So we're able to just see so many cards to find what we needed, thanks to Marit Lage's Slumber scry, that we actually did find the remand. We dug like 6 cards deep or something. We hit the remand on the last draw. Of course, our opponent, their last card in hand was a counter spell, so it didn't actually work out and win us the game, but it was still a really, really big testament to the power of Marit Lage's Slumber scry ability in this deck. Just being able to find what we need when we need it. Dead of Winter is just absurd. That card is so strong. We played it in Blue-Black Ninjas on Much Brew over the weekend. Just with like a few snowlands, play it in the sideboard, it was fine there. In a deck like this, we would be killing like Ulamogs. We could seriously take down Ulamogs on like turn 5 with this deck, thanks to all the snow permanents we get, while not hurting us at all. We saw that against like Slivers, where we're able to just like make a bunch of big stuff, cast a Dead of Winter, kill all your stuff. We have this huge board, opponent scoops it up. So overall, I think there's something here, honestly. I'm not 100% sure that this build is perfectly optimal. Is 4 Marit Lage's Slumber the right number? I don't know. I was also pretty happy with On Thin Ice. That's another card where I was kind of like, I don't know. It's risky. What if our land gets blown up? What if there's a Ghost Quarter? But really, with the top Modern decks at the moment, there's not that many Ghost Quarters, and there's more Field of Ruins than Ghost Quarters anyway, and Panza isn't really a thing anymore, so it's kind of safe-ish. Like, there are some blowouts, and the Teferi will bounce it or whatever, but in general, it's fairly safe to On Thin Ice at the moment. So really, I think what I've tried to say is basically literally every snow card is better than I thought it would be, especially when you put them all together. And while our build, maybe there's some stuff to touch up around the edges. We lost to Storm, we lost to 8-whack Goblins, 2 really fast, almost combo-ish decks. Although we were also able to beat like Jeskai Ascendancy, we beat Burn, which is another fast, kinda almost combo-y deck. We beat an Aether Vial Goblins deck, so we beat a lot of like very aggressive and fast and powerful decks. So maybe there's some like tuning around the edges, but I actually think that as people explore this format and explore Modern with Modern Horizons, someone's going to make Snow work. And this might be a good shell for it, because we definitely learned that a lot of the Snow cards are better than I personally was giving them credit for, like Abominable Tree Folk, for example, and probably better than other people are giving them credit for. The other thing we got to shout out before wrapping it up, Scrying Sheets is an insane payoff for this deck. A land that is pay to tap it, draw a card 75% of the time, and you can have multiples, it's not legendary, against a deck like Control, that is a card that can basically win you the game all by itself. You just can outdraw any deck in the format if your opponent's trying to play like the long controlling game. We have all these Death Touch creatures, which are insane. One of the matches in testing I played was against Death Shadow and was able to just crush Death Shadow because of all the Death Touch creatures. We're like, sure, like play your Death Shadows, play your Grimag Anglers, here's an Ice-fang Kotal, it kills it, here's an Orid Viper, it kills it. So we're able to get through our wall of defense, so even though we don't have that much removal, we have these like removal creatures, so I love this deck. I love this deck, I love Snow, we made Marit Lage work, we made the Snow creatures work all around, it was spectacular. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed playing it, and I really enjoyed playing this one. I kind of, once I stopped recording this, wrap up, I'm probably just gonna play more of it because the deck was sweet and it's fun and I love it and it's awesome. So anyway, that's been Against the Odds for this week. Marit Lage's 4-color Simic Snow Stompy for Modern. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.